Hello, it's Monica from Crafting with Quilling, and I hope you have absolutely fabulous day. In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to create super easy kinetic card. If you like butterflies or if you like kinetic cards, I really hope you will feel inspired watching this tutorial. For my card today, I'm going to use beautiful ornate butterflies stamp set from Crafter's Companion, and I'm going to stamp the image on 300 GSM white stamping card. As you can see, I'm going to use a stamping platform. You can use any stamping platform you've got in your stash. I really want to make precision stamping, that's why I'm using a platform. I'm going to use anti-static bag first because we're going to use VersaMark ink to stamp our image, because later on, and you probably guessed it, we are going to use heat embossing. If you have this stamp set, that's absolutely perfect for this card. However, if you don't, you can use any stamps you've got in your stash. They can be flowers, butterflies, and then create a wreath. That will be perfect as well. Now I'm going to use my gold embossing powder and sprinkle on top. Because we use that VersaMark ink, the embossing powder sticks to our stamped image. And now I'm going to heat set it with my heat tool. And what's also really good about any stamping platform, you can stamp the same image as many times as you want. That's why I used it, because with VersaMark ink, you can't really see where you stamp your image, so I wanted to make sure that the stamp is properly done. So any stamping platform will work. Again, from the same stamp set collection, I'm going to use that small butterfly and I'm going to stamp it 4 times with a VersaMark ink. But before you do any stamping with clear embossing powder, I really encourage you to use anti-static bag. And all the names of the products I use in today's video, you can check in the description down below. Also, in the description down below, I left a link to Buy Me a Coffee website where I've got some beautiful mandalas for you to try and some other elements you can download and use them for your project. So please check them out. Now again, I'm going to use my heat tool to heat set those beautiful butterflies. And if you haven't seen my Under the Sea kinetic card, the link is in the top right corner. I'm going to color in all my butterflies using zig markers. I really like them, and they are aqua markers or watercolor markers, so you can really use them for any beautiful images, and especially when you use heat embossing, because heat embossing resists watercolor, and this is perfect for very quick beautiful makes. And what's really good about zig markers, they blend beautifully, and when they do, they actually create more colors. So to be honest, you don't really need that many in your stash because they mix beautifully. And yes, they blend as well. And to do it, you always have to use a wet paintbrush to spread the color around. Super quick, beautiful. And when these pens dry on a card, in this case, you can also use watercolor cards if you prefer. They just look like a beautiful watercolor paint, and that's why I really like them. I wonder, have you ever used zig markers? Or if you haven't, maybe there is a different brand that you use for your card making or paper crafting. Please let me know in the comments down below. When all these elements are ready, you can heat set them for a couple of seconds just to make sure everything is totally dry before you start fussy cutting them. So in the meantime, I'm going to use my Distress Oxide inks in Wilted Violet, Picked Raspberry, Carved Pumpkin, and Mustard Seed. And I'm going to create a background for my butterflies. As you can see, I started with purple because that is the color on the butterflies, and I really wanted everything to match on my card. And if you do use any inks to blend beautiful backgrounds, please let me know what is your favorite color combo. As you can see, I'm using my ink blending tool to spread the colors around, but if you don't have Distress Oxide inks, you can also create your own beautiful design papers. And if you haven't seen that video on my channel, the link is in the top right corner, where I show you 3 different techniques using just one stamp set collection. And that can be anything: flowers, butterflies, dragonflies, literally whatever you want. And now it is time to fussy cut all our elements. And one more tip for you: whenever you use ink blending, I really encourage you to have either a scrap piece of paper on the other hand, or as you saw here, I use a piece of tissue, because then we don't really have any fingertips on our background. And this is a really good tip if you are not very keen on ink blending, because this way you will make sure that everything is beautiful, smooth, and it looks professionally finished. As you can see, I'm using my scissors. I don't really need any special cutting dies for this image, because I really like fussy cutting. And I wonder, do you like that as well? Do you fussy cut your elements for a card, or do you prefer using matching dies? Like in this set, it doesn't really have a matching die. That's why I'm using my scissors. But even then, I made sure that this element will be perfect for my kinetic card. And now it is time to fussy cut all those small butterflies, but I'm only going to show you how to do it with one of them. And then by the magic of editing, you will see all four cut out beautifully. So when we've got all those elements, there is still something missing. And to create our kinetic card, we have to use one more piece. And this time I'm going to use first I'm going to color it in. So I'm going to use carved pumpkin and mustard seed to add that color, and that will be our focal element. It will be exactly in the middle of our card, because we really need something to stop our mechanism. So that's why we have to create that panel. And now, to make sure that everything matches beautifully, I'm going to use that picked raspberry, and I'm going to blend all those colors, because I don't really want that white coming through our elements. So yes, you can do it even on top of your beautiful and colored images. And that's exactly what I want to encourage you to do. So look at your stash, use any stamps you've got, and then create beautiful elements. Now I'm going to use very small doily, and I'm going to die cut that element from our Distress Oxide background. And using very small circle die, I'm going to die cut it exactly in the middle of our butterfly element, and that will give us that kinetic mechanism. I learned that technique from Jennifer Maguire, and if you don't have these small circle dies, I'm going to show you a trick in a second, because I don't really have another circle die that will match. So what you can do, you can actually use some punches. But first, to add a little bit more detail, I'm going to use my spray bottle and spray water on top of our Distress Oxide backgrounds. And as you can see, I lift off some of the colors using my tissue, and this way it is more beautiful and it has that watercolor effect. And just to make sure everything is ready to assemble it, I'm going to heat set it with my heat tool. And this is a very good tip for you before you start using your wet glue. Always make sure that all the elements are totally dry. So now I'm going to use a scrap piece of 300 GSM white card, and using my punch I'm going to create a couple of circles. And this one is slightly smaller than our circular cutting die, which is exactly in the middle of butterflies, and that is exactly what you need. So if you don't have circle nesting dies, you can always use your punches. This element can be even smaller. It doesn't have to be that big. The choice is absolutely yours, but the trick here is to use a circle. So as you saw, I created some dimension by putting all those small circles together, and now it is time to add a little bit more interest on the card, and I'm going to die cut number 12 for the middle part, because that is the birthday for the recipient. So as you saw, I'm going to use Tonic Studio dye, and all the names of the products I use in today's video you can check in the description down below, and most of them are affiliate links, so if you use them, that really helps my channel at no cost to you. Now I've got some gold mirror card and I'm going to back our beautiful background panel, and I'm going to use my one and only liquid glue, magic glue, because I do have time to maneuver all those elements. So now it is time to put everything on a card base, and this one is 6 by 6 inches, and as usual I peel off the backing of my tape, and using my one and only liquid glue, I'm going to put few drops before I assemble the whole card together. And as you can see, the butterflies spin really beautifully, and if you haven't created that kinetic card before, I really hope you will give it a go. Now it is time for the name of the recipient, and as you saw, I used tattered lace, elegant alphabet and gold mirror card, because that matches our beautiful butterflies and also the gold mirror card frame that we created on our background, and also the number exactly in the middle. I wonder, how often do you use gold mirror card in your card making? Do you like it, or maybe you prefer silver one? Please let me know what's your favorite. So when this is ready, we can shape our small butterflies. As you saw, I just shaped the wings, and then I put few drops of liquid glue exactly where the body of a butterfly is, and this way we do have some dimension. And when this card was finished, obviously I had to add a few gold gems, I just couldn't resist. I thought it would be a good idea to create a matching box, so I'm going to use my scoring board, and this card is not very dimensional, so I'm going to use, I think, 1.5 centimeter, and I'm going to create a box base first. And I'm going to use my Crafter's Companion scoring board. It is A4 size, but you can use any scoring board you've got in your stash. That will be absolutely fine. And I think whenever you create a box for a card, that really makes that project very special. To be honest, recently I started making lots of those boxes for my personalized cards because I really enjoy it. And do you actually create your own boxes, or do you actually get ready-made boxes for your projects? If you do, please let me know, where do you get them from? I'm really curious. As you saw, I created some notches, and now it is time to assemble the base for our box. And I always do it first, and then I create a lid. On this scoring board from Crafter's Companion, now we're going to create a lid. And to create your box, remember the panels have to be exactly the same size. So if you have a card like this, then I added 1.5 centimeter on each side. So you have to measure your card, then add, I usually do 0.5 centimeter, and in this case I added 1.5 and another 1.5. And now, to make this box even more special, I'm going to use a beautiful cutting die from Crafter's Companion called Perfect Papillon from Vintage Butterflies collection. And I think to create that aperture, it makes it so special. To be honest, you can use any nesting dies as well to create the aperture. Now it is time to put a little bit of acetate and red liner tape. And this one is 3mm from Crafter's Companion. And I think red liner tape, it is always the best option, especially when you use acetate. And it's always a good idea to burnish that tape before you peel off the backing. I really encourage you to do it whenever you create any box or beautiful project like this. So when this is ready, we can actually assemble the box. But to be honest, I thought, let's use a smaller punch, and this way we are going to punch both sides and it will be so easy to open the box. If you haven't used your punches to create those sides, I really hope you will give it a go, because it really makes a difference. Now it is time to fold, burnish and put all those sides together. Super quick, beautiful, And do you agree that matching boxes work well with your projects, or do you actually prefer envelopes? Please let me know in the comments down below. And if you do prefer envelopes, do you make them, or do you use ready-made envelopes for your projects? I'm really curious if you make them. What is the way you do it? Now it is time to add some gold gems on our box lid, and the project is complete. So we have a card and matching box, and please let me know, what do you think about this? Do you like it? Would you change anything? And what do you think about this color combo? There is lots of space to write your message inside, and yes, the card spins, which is so amazing. If you like this birthday card, I really hope you'll give it a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I really want to meet 500 subscribers by the end of the year. It is my goal, so please help me. Have a wonderful day and see you in my next video. Bye!